Live at Onigashima. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Anthony, and today we're doing chapter 1147, The Things We Find Scary. We had a very similar title, Things...
Changing it up.
You know,
there's a whole new word in there.
It's a whole new word.
A whole extra character.
We got this cover story. Again, nothing really new. We got Raizo this time. Let's move on to the good content, shall we?
Yeah, I'm done with these cover stories. The good content, though, we got Soul's backstory, him telling Robin and Chopper to hide in there, Robin plotting her moment. So we're kind of like, dang, Robin, why aren't you helping last time? But now we can see it's all a part of their plan. We don't know 100% what they're going to do or what they can even do, to be honest. But they're going to try something.
Yeah, they're going to try something. I mean, like, I see this as, you know... Robin's like, oh, okay, like I met Saul back up, like I'll go along with it, whatever he's saying, because like I don't know who these guys are, God's Night, whatever. Like he's trying to protect Robin from being taken or whatever, right? Yeah. But he's beaten pretty badly, and so are the rest of the Straw Hats. So we see that they're all kind of rounded up, and dude, Jinbei fans in the mud right now.
Fraud watch. Jinbei's on fraud watch. Even Nami called him out in this chapter.
For real, fraud watch Jinbei. Like, all four that he was supposed to be the strong one. He's like, shut up.
Yeah, people thought he was going to dethrone the big three. Nah, lower his bounty. Give Sanji the bigger bounty.
That's right. That's what I'm saying, dude. But we got some really cool... This is actually a really cool moment for Brook here, which we don't get a lot of. You know, Gunko... is like, you're gonna make music for me, you belong to me, I'm your biggest fan, and now I'm gonna lock you in my basement.
Which, that was one thing I was interested about too, is I thought she might not know like who Brook was or the connection to Luffy or something. Like, yeah, Soul King, but like, who is Soul King? But I guess there's not really that many talking skeletons out there, to be fair. So I guess it wasn't too hard to make that connection.
Yeah,
but the fact that she's like, because we were thinking before, like, oh, she's listening to that song, maybe she's not like so bad because she likes that song or something. But no, clearly that's not, well, I guess not clearly, but it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore.
Well, I think one thing that might be interesting if Brook's music continues to be like an actual thing with Gunko's character is that we think that Gunko is eventually maybe going to flip or have some big realization. You know, we keep on talking about how her ability and her whole character is based around like her fate, but that she kind of is showing signs that maybe she, you know, sees the world government in a different light. Like she was listening to A New World. Brook's music is all about freedom, and so I wonder if maybe at some point in this arc, Brook's music, like him playing music, is actually gonna like spark something in her, and she's gonna be like, oh my god. And you know, it'll be time to flip.
It's gonna be like a trigger effect. Like it's gonna be the thing that switches her to the other side. She's a sleeper agent right now.
Yeah, I mean, it could be sleeper agent.
That'd be hilarious.
Brook has the hardest lines too. When
he really does. He did one of these to Big Mom, and now again to Gunko. I will say though, I mean, I love this line. Like, I'm not taking away anything from this, but I hope he like does something afterwards, because it feels like he's always a lot of talk with not a lot of like. He has like the right motivations, the right drive, but I want him to have the power to back some of it up too.
Well, we'll
be able to hold it.
We'll see, because I mean, I think Brook. I mean, this is another thing that's making him more interesting for Elbaf specifically. But you know, we have the whole underworld here. So I mean, you know, Chill of the Underworld. We just saw Venus Nostro in Egghead use the Chill of the Underworld too. I think there's a lot of like new connections with Brook and new things to explore in this arc that I think could be like really cool. So we'll see how it kind of like expands further in the arc.
Yeah, that's true. And then after that, we get to see that all of these other creatures that Keelingam has made, there's way more of them than we thought, and they're actually starting to overrun the giants. Like,
well,
these giants, yeah. I mean, Summer said it, they're kind of weak, they're all pacifists now, they're kind of being bitches. And they're even beating up Dory and Brogy, which is the one I was like more like shocked about.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was a funny joke in there. It's like, oh, they're scared of their moms. Oh no, so are we.
Dude, I swear to God,
but
I thought that was Big Mom.
I was about to say that made me think of Big Mom, and a reason probably a lot of them are scared of moms is probably because of Big Mom. Like,
yeah.
She terrorized like Elbaf before, and then now has become like a world-renowned pirate. So like that one literally looks like the one that's holding on the bottom.
Yeah, that one looks like Big Mom for
Big
sure.
Mom straight up.
Yeah. I think it was a funny joke that they were like taken down by that, but it just goes to show, you know, like Keelingam isn't as such. Like, these are the kids' dreams. Again, we keep saying it. Like, what if, or their nightmares, I guess. Like, what if their other nightmares that Gillingham ends up taking from other people. Usopp. Uh,
Scarier.
uh,
Scarier and stronger.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the other thing is, it's made me think more. It seems like these kids, and you can see it because of their personalities throughout this chapter too.
Yeah, we got a
But
reveal for all of
like
them.
this is like the perfect like victims for his powers, because kids have a wider imagination and are more scared of these things, and they build up these things more in their head than like a normal person would.
Right.
Like we said it before with Luffy, but probably with also more adults than just Luffy, where it's probably not going to be as detrimental to him because he's not scared of anything, so anything it throws out there is probably going to be very minor,
Right.
versus when you're using it on these 10 kids who are like literally shitting their pants as they're being transported. These monsters are going to be way stronger and way crazier. So
Yeah.
they planned this pretty well, honestly.
Yeah, I want to talk about the kids a little bit here. Like, obviously we got Summers saying that the ultimatum is that they're going to like kill them off one by one. But the kids themselves, so like there's 9 of them and Colin, right? So Colin got his own little like straw hat fleet like crew here, right? Like it's the same number of them. They all have different personalities and stuff. I think it's cool to get a little bit more characterization for all these people. We see this little map of where everybody's going and kind of the layout of where
So
everybody
you know,
is.
a good chunk of the way into the arc,
Right.
when
There's a
Oda starts
map.
giving us the maps.
Exactly. And yeah, so the ultimatum is, listen, and he tells Jarul, he's like, you're the king now, which is, this is kind of a question that I had a while, is like, who's the king now? And clearly it is just defaulting to Jarul.
Yeah, the longest standing member.
Yeah, yeah. And
Makes
so
sense.
he's like, listen, if you don't burn the books and torch the library, we're gonna start killing these kids off. Which that makes sense from the world government. Not that it's a good thing. I'm just saying like it makes sense from the Celestial Dragon's point of view, because they want these guys to be barbarians again. Like they don't want them to have the knowledge. They burned down O'Hara for a reason.
They also definitely don't want them, finding out the knowledge of O'Hara. Like, I thought that was one of the stupid things from this chapter by,
Oh my
what's her
god,
face?
Angie, dude.
Angie?
Oh my
Where she
god.
was like, no, we gotta preserve the knowledge from O'Hara. It's like, you dumbass, they literally don't want that. Why are you gonna even say that to
Yeah,
them?
and
I
like
feel
she's
she
like,
just kind
oh,
of,
the
like,
secrets of the world, we have them, and we sacrificed our lives for them. Please don't. They're so secret.
and someone's like, yeah, no
someone's
shit,
like,
that's
oh
why
my
we're gonna
god,
kill
you're
you.
so dumb. I thought you were a teacher, dude.
Oh yeah, I thought you guys were scholars now. These are the worst scholars in the world.
Yeah, but speaking of scholars, dude, Robin pops out. Not gonna let that happen, dude. And who
Oh yeah.
who else but Gabon to pull up with her? That is gonna be a hell of a showdown. I think that honestly,
That's gonna be a very interesting combo.
I think that honestly,
Like, I can't wait to see what they do together.
Yeah, yeah. I think Robin versus Summers is actually like a really. We had thought at first that he was gonna go against Sanji because of the love thing, but I actually think that Robin is a good matchup, not strength wise, and I think that Robin is probably gonna lose here, and then. Or the Straw Hats as a whole are going to lose here, and it's going to be very similar to Annie's Lobby, where they'll come back after some training, and Robin will have like some new technique. A lot of people are saying she'll learn armament hockey from Gabon after seeing this last thing, which I think would be cool, because armament hockey would be the one thing that she could use to actually like touch the thorns. Like her ability is inherently
Well, not really, because we saw what's his face, Saul use armament hockey and it
True.
didn't do crap to the thorns.
Yeah, but
I
what if she
actually
has
have, like, a
advanced armament
different-
hockey from
Maybe.
Gabon?
But one, I've been saying it for a while. I'm under the assumption that Robin already has hockey, and her demon form is her utilizing that unknowingly. And I don't think, like, Oda's not going to explicitly go back and tell us, but it's one of those things, like when we look at like Zoro back in Alabasta, when he uses like the breath of all things, that was clearly him using armament hockey without knowing it, right?
Yeah.
I think kind of the same thing with Robin, where she kind of already has it and just needs to know how to use it like effectively. But I was also not under the assumption, but I guess I'm more on the lines of thinking that I don't think she's gonna fight Summers. I think Gabon is a better fit to fight Summers
Right now.
with all of the acts being like there to take down all the vines and stuff. He seems like a perfect counter to Summers. And then I know the joke right now is Zoro is gonna be really good to fight Gunko, because the arrows won't work on him because he'll just go in the wrong direction.
That'd be hilarious.
And well, I would love if that happened. That would be hilarious. I do think Robin's also a really good counter for him, because she can kind of like just use her hands, and she doesn't have to like follow like the arrows, right? because she can spawn them on Gunko's body. So Gunko, it's not like an attack where she launches it and then Gunko can reverse the attack. It's literally her just grabbing Gunko. Like, so I feel like
Yeah.
Robin could be a pretty good match for her too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we
And
said.
on top
Like,
of that, well, one last thing I was just gonna say. On top of that, Oda like usually pairs like girl fighters with girl fighters
yeah.
and then boy fighters with boy fighters.
It's
so.
true, it's true. But I do think that like Summers is set up to be kind of like this evil villain of the arc. Like I would love, especially since he's threatening Saul right here, if she could protect Saul this time around. Like we saw, you know, in Ennie's lobby, at the very end of it, she just snapped Spandam's spine in half. Somehow he lived, but you know,
Fortunately.
exactly. But yeah, like there's a lot. I think overall, like this is a time for a lot of the Straw Hats to kind of get like a big upgrade after this. This is gonna be a losing thing for them. I don't know how they're gonna diffuse this situation. I thought this might have happened like a little later, where they would like kidnap the kids and then there would be like negotiations or something. But it seems like it's going just like much quicker.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's gonna end up. One other thing I wanted to say about Robin here is this is a very like cheeky thing that doesn't mean anything, but she's got the rings, the eyes, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed that too. I wasn't 100% sure what to think about that yet. I don't know if it's like an art choice that Oda's going for. I don't know if it actually means something, but I'm curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
the same
also,
eyes as
like-
what, like Mihawk and Emu. Oh, and Zunisha.
And, yeah, and Cavendish. It's in a bunch of random things. So
Yeah.
like that's why I feel like it could be more of an art choice, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
But then, like, one more thing is we know now, since Keelingam and I guess Summers are using the transponder sails to talk to everybody, that means Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro can hear all of this finally. Because before, they didn't know any of this was happening. They were just in the underworld. But now after hearing this and hearing, like, oh, the Straw Hats are captured, like, they even say it in this chapter, like, don't provoke Emperor Luffy, like, we don't really want to deal with that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously they're going to have to deal with that.
Yeah, dude.
so-
I mean, I'm sure for me, Luffy's still the strongest person on this island. Like, no questions asked. I don't think that, like,
Yeah.
even with the regeneration thing, we saw he just yeeted Mars and, like, that was the end of it, right? So, I think that, you know, he can come over, turn Summers into a pizza pie, and then get him out of there. But they do have a fast travel way of getting out of there with the summoning
Yeah.
circles.
Well, also on top of that, though, I like yeeting Gunko out of there is not really gonna work in my opinion, because then that doesn't stop the kids, and the kids are still gonna be trapped with the arrows. So they got to figure out a way to free them also.
Well, I imagine
and
if,
I don't really know how that's gonna happen.
I imagine it would have to do, because that's her devil fruit, right? I would imagine it would have to do something with like suppressing the devil fruit in some way, or getting her to like release it or whatever. If Luffy eats her into the water or something, I think that could be a way. A lot of people were saying before Jinbei got cooked that fisherman karate might be like, you know, a way to get around that, and especially since like Dragon and all the revolutionaries are like really into fisherman karate, like maybe, and they knew about the Holy Knights, like maybe that's actually a hack to get around the regeneration, and they know that, and that might be a cool thing that Robin could like bust out here, that maybe she could even improve upon more, that would help against this regeneration thing. I don't know, it's just speculation.
Potentially. I also think it's like interesting that these God's Knights are way more well known than we all assumed at first. Like we saw last chapter, Brook knew about them. Now again, Saul knew about them. Like Dragon obviously knew about them. Like, so way more people know about them than we thought. We thought they were more secret than they were, but I guess not.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if like the regeneration thing was a very known thing.
No,
like,
no, no.
you
I don't
know.
think their powers are, but just them as people in general
True
is
that.
like, it's more common than I would have thought.
You know, another thing I just thought of is like, what if Luffy like eats Gunko, but she casts like an arrow before that, and she just like directs herself like back to the island or whatever.
Yeah, she's gonna be kind of hard to get rid of.
I think Gunko is like, I mean, even I know people aren't underrating her as much now that she's like
I
took out
am.
for but hey, I think Gunko is a little like has even more to show, as well as the rest of the God's Knights. Like clearly, Keelinggam's a powerhouse. Just like
Yeah.
soloed pretty much the entirety of Elbaf here, and then Summers is no diffing people left and right. Well, I mean, we'll see with Gabon
A
coming.
vice admiral, and we know how they are.
It's true. I mean, Gabon. We'll see with Gabon here. I do expect, like you said, next chapter for Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro maybe to catch wind of this, and then enter the fray. But I think it might even be, again, a similar scenario to Eni's lobby where they're goofing around and it's too late, and then you know how like Luffy got stuck between the buildings, Zoro got lost, whatever, and like Nami had to be like, yo, snap out of it, like Robin's being taken away. It might be a kind of a similar situation maybe with the kids or whatever, where they're goofing around here, and so they don't really get to interact with the Gods Knights all that much, but then they come back and they have these 1v1s, blah blah blah.
I could definitely see that. I could even see them freeing everybody and only taking Colin also. But that's just me trying to force my own narrative because I predicted it weeks ago.
It's true, yeah. I mean, Colin definitely got some more, focus in this chapter. I think that we're going to see more out of him. I like him a lot more now than I did at first. I'll say that.
I like him too. I think he's going to be a good character.
Yeah. Well.
But you know what else is great about this chapter?
Ooh, say it.
No break next week.
No break next week, which means you guys will be seeing us next week for the chapter. Yeah, we'll be here. Like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Give us your theories. Tell us what you think of the chapter. If there's anything we missed, yeah, this is a fun one.
Yeah, you guys have had some interesting theories in like our recent videos, so keep it up.
Yeah, I've been really interested in all the comments that we've gotten so far. There's been some really like cool theories out there, so maybe we can cover that in future videos. But until next time, y'all.
Peace out.
Peace.